sometimes it's not even a holistic approach while understanding diabetes. There is a myth that only sugar control means my diabetes is completely under control and I'm fine. Usually a paper which is your lab investigations, which determines your blood sugar levels pre-post meals, and your HbA1c, your glycosylated hemoglobin, is the parameter to find out. And most of the people are in the loop that taking medicines, whether it is insulin, whether it is oral anti-diabetic medication, and it is considered that I'm completely fine. Unfortunately, it's just the tip of the iceberg. That's not the truth, because diabetes is literally like an iceberg, which you can see the tip is only the sugar control, and the rest of it lies beneath. So today I'm going to take you through that entire process for first understanding what it is actually doing to your body. When you get the tag that you're a diabetic patient, what does it really mean to you and your body? Okay, so let's begin. So diabetes, if just to bring to your notice, it is the looming danger, especially not just in India but worldwide. I have presently only mentioned the statistics which are seen in India, in the Indian scenario. Basically, diabetes, it is a state when the body is not able to convert food properly to energy. Okay, food is not converted the way it should be converted to energy properly. That's it. That's the layman meaning of the word diabetes. Now, the statistics which are there are very alarming, because 1 in 6 people have diabetes, and India has the second highest number of diabetes patients in the whole world. 77 million diabetics already in India. It is sad to say, in a country like ours, where we are so much into traditional medicines, where we are into yoga and all. In spite of that, because of the unhealthy lifestyles which we are into, the numbers have already reached 77 million and counting, and it has likely to going to increase to 124.8. Unfortunately, we are now also the diabetic capital of the world, close to being the diabetic capital of the world. So, and if you see the age group, that's also quite alarming, because I've seen patients right from age 24, and this I'm not talking about type 1 diabetes, but type 2 diabetes. At the age group of 20 plus to 79 years of old, we have all the categories of patients as early as 22 years old, full-fledged diabetes. Okay. So what we understand here, I'm not going to go in very much technical details, but definitely something which is important for everybody to understand. So there are 3 categories primarily which are seen in the diabetic patient, or when you get diagnosed with diabetes. Type 1, which is by birth or can be acquired at a little early stage in life, like at age 4 or 5 years, and it is a juvenile diabetes, also an autoimmune disease. I'll explain all these terms. The type 2 diabetes is one which we come to know in the mid-age, anywhere between age group of 20 to 79 years. And this is when your sugar levels are alarmingly high, or accidentally you found out that your sugar levels are, close to on the threshold of diabetes. You're in the pre-diabetic group, or probably you have just crossed the threshold and you have seen diabetes, or sometimes it goes undetected, and people, they just find out. Sometimes only a mild symptom like, I'm feeling very tired these days, could be also a sign of diabetes. So, or a skin or a wound which was not healing. Okay, so many such things are also found. And the third is the gestational diabetes, which has become very common. Gestational diabetes means one which occurs during pregnancy. Obviously, the reasons here are a little different why it is happening, and we will talk about them at length. But what I want to bring to notice is this basic concept is where food is not converted into energy, the metabolism which has to happen is not happening. So your body doesn't get the energy which it should get from the food you're eating. Simple. If I'm too fast, just let me know, I'll go slowly. Otherwise, if it's okay, I'll continue in this way. Now, let's talk about what actually is the long-term effect of diabetes on the body. So basically, the body doesn't make any insulin, or it cannot use the insulin effectively. Whatever it is making, either it is not to the full-on capacity, or whatever you are producing in the body, it's not actually, helping your body. So this thing, one second. Sorry, just give me a second. Yeah. So it affects glucose conversion into fuel. Whatever food you're eating, basically, that food is not getting converted into fuel. Fuel is what the energy which will help your body to run. Okay, so it has to be in the good capacity, and whatever you're eating has to be actually be useful for your body. If it is not, there is no point. Then the energy levels are always low. Fatigue is common. But what diabetes actually does to the body is it acts the sugar levels when they're high. They start acting on the blood vessels in your body. Your body needs, your body has a whole network of lot of blood vessels, arteries, capillaries, veins, all the structures. Your entire body, it's like a machine which is being fueled or being energized by this blood. So when you're not having enough energy in your body, that is the point where you start getting or feeling very lethargic. Okay, things like that happen. So in this, what happens is when there are higher sugar levels in the body, the first thing in chronic diabetes, what happens is it starts decreasing the elasticity of the blood vessels. Okay, so your blood vessels are very elastic in nature. Imagine a rubber band, which you can pull, which you can, which gets stretched. But when sugar levels are very high, then what happens is they start hardening. Okay, and because of that, what will happen is the narrowing of the blood vessels start happening. They become hard. They become hard. Why? Because there is continuous deposition of, whether you say cholesterol, there is a continuous build-up. Okay, and that leads to when there is continuous build up, so you can see this is the artery or this is the major blood vessel in your body which supplies blood. Then it starts getting, there is a lot of deposition of cholesterol here, okay, or there is a lot of deposition of unwanted stuff here. Mostly it is cholesterol only, okay, and that leads to narrowing of the blood vessel. Okay, it becomes narrow. And when it becomes narrow, it's like imagine a pipe which has to have a full capacity of sending water, and the moment it starts depositing, there are a lot of depositions happening, then the water will not flow. Even if it flows, it goes on, the volume goes on reducing. So this is what exactly happens in a chronic diabetic patient, and all the problem lies here. So this is like undercover, it's under the water, the iceberg which I was talking about. When you see only the tip, you think only about the sugar levels, okay? But the real fact is that it is not just about that, it is actually about what sugar is doing to your body. So here you can see in the photo, in the diagram, if you see, I put up a picture where you can see at the first stage how a blood vessel should look like. It's a pipe, and the pipe should be empty, it should be clean, it should allow blood to flow. But over a period of time, it starts showing deposition, and the lumen becomes smaller and smaller and smaller, and the blood flow to the major organs starts reducing. Now you can imagine if blood flow to the organs start reducing, what is exactly going to happen? Like, it doesn't need a doctor to tell you. Obviously your organs function will start dropping off. It will start reducing unless you take any action proactively. This is definitely which happens in most of the diabetic patients, okay, and that is why even after their sugar levels being under control for 25 years, 30 years, they end up unfortunately into heart attacks, strokes, or kidney diseases, end-term kidney diseases like chronic kidney failure, etc. So they have the diabetic retinopathy, that the eyes get damaged, or diabetic neuropathy, where the nerves of the body, the nerve system of the body gets affected. So this is what actually diabetes does to your body. It's like a train, if you sit in a train and you go, on the way you collect all your friends, that diabetes will say, okay, come, hypertension, you are my friend, you also sit in the train. Or high cholesterol, you are my friend, sit in the train along with me. So once you are on that journey, diabetes is literally making a very nice, conducive party environment so that all his friends, that is all these diseases, start coming in the body one by one. Okay, unless you really stop the party, it won't stop. It has to be done proactively. So only sugar management would actually carry, I would say, weightage of around 30 to 40% only. So this is one important aspect to understand. And when this elasticity of the blood vessel starts decreasing, then there will be lack of oxygen, there will be lack of blood. And so first few instances, if you see that a person who has started with diabetes in some years or within a span of a year or two has hypertension also, the blood pressure. You might have seen most of the diabetic patients telling, okay, I'm taking medicines for blood pressure, I'm taking medicines for diabetes, I'm taking medicines for high cholesterol, isn't it? This is a very common finding. So these are the things which are because of diabetes, or sometimes it is not always that diabetes only gets hypertension, but sometimes it can be that a person is already having hypertension and then he got diabetes. That can also be a scenario, but mostly diabetes is very conducive or very, it's like just now I gave an example of the train in which you are, and it will take all the friends along with it in the train. So it's like a journey along. Then usually the damages because of long-term diabetes are seen at two levels. One which we call macrovascular. Macro means which happens to the big arteries, and microvascular. Micro means what? Small. And vascular is the blood network in our body. So that is to the capillaries, the small veins in the body. So when you see effect at the macro level, that is at the larger level, then the picture is where the heart diseases come in, stroke, peripheral artery diseases. There are so many things. These are a little technical, but it's for you to understand. I'm trying to put it in simple language. And small means to the micro level, to the microvascular network, that is the capillary, the veins network. Imagine if there is no blood reaching to them, they are naturally going to stop functioning. And this has happened when a diabetic patient gets retinopathy or gets neuropathy. So these are terms which happens. Basically, they don't get, they lose eyesight also at times. Partial blindness, complete blindness happens. And cataract is also very commonly, very easily found in diabetic patients. So usually you see if a patient is complaining about whatever minor symptoms which you always know, even if it is fatigue, a doctor will definitely will advise a sugar test, right? Or if the person has symptoms like continuous feeling of hunger, continuous feeling of, or going frequent urination, then also the tests are advised. But Ayurveda speaks a lot more about diabetes than this. So there are, as per Ayurveda, there are 20 types of diabetes, actually, and you must be surprised to hear about this, but that is Vimshati Prameha, which we say. And here there are categorization. Every time we do not find sugar in the blood or in the urine. Only that today modern science only tells you that you're a diabetic when the sugar levels are detected in the blood or in the urine. But Ayurveda speaks a lot more about diabetes, and it goes to the deeper levels, deeper understanding of diabetes, where for us, even a diabetic person is the one who will just have, a lot of sweating or no sweating at all. Aswed, atiswed, these are the terms used, where no sweating or lot of sweating can also be a sign of diabetes. Okay, so not necessary every time you get sugar into your urine or blood. But the treatment actually depends on the arrival of symptoms or the presence of symptoms seen. Okay, so I hope this part is clear. If anybody feels that they are not understanding, or if I'm too fast or something, just let me know. Just let's make it a little interactive, so that, because I'm not able to see anybody's faces, so I'm not able to understand whether you people are understanding what I'm trying to communicate here. So if anybody has any question, please do put it along, so that I know that you're understanding what I'm trying to talk here.
Thank you, Payal. This is really good. Yeah, lots of information. Thank you.
Thank you so much for replying. So I'll proceed ahead. Okay. So let's go to next step. Like I said, understanding diabetes. On purpose, I have put this slide here to show you the difference. Like I told you, just look around the people. You must be knowing at least 1 in 6 people. I've told you the statistics who have diabetes. If you just talk to them, just out of curiosity, do a survey from your side and try to understand what does diabetes really mean to them, or what does it mean that, okay, what do you think diabetes ठीक है मतलब क्या है, what does it mean? So people will say, okay, all my reports are fine, I'm taking medicines every day, I'm popping a pill or I'm taking insulin and my sugar is under control, that's it. So most of the time people, they just think that they are on the paper. That it's only on the paper, and they think if it is on the paper, if it is everything is under, all the mathematics is correct, that means they are doing fine. Unfortunately, it's not like that. If you try to dig up further, little more ahead into it, you will understand even these people talking, okay, what about your appetite? They'll say, no, I don't feel hungry these days, or I feel lot of energy loss is there. I don't feel enthusiastic. They may talk about their sex life not being so great, or they may talk about focus and attention being disturbed, or they may talk about severe constipation. So these are all because of the one friend of theirs which is inside the body and which is affecting all the major systems of the body. So this is all about diabetes. And when you ask people, then you understand that, okay, many things are not okay. So that is the actual understanding of this disease. What is the Ayurvedic view? So sugar control, we do give importance to it, but I would say frankly only up to 30%. It is important to keep your sugar under check. I'm not denying that fact anywhere. But overall physical and mental health is something which should be completely taken care of, because you are not just your pancreas, right? So you are not just a part of your body, you're the whole body. If one system is affected, the entire systems have to take a toll, at least a compensatory toll. So imagine if you're in an office and if one person is not working efficiently, it does affect the other people who are working as a team. It will affect. Why not? Because that's the way it is. Our systems in the body, everything is super connected to each other, whether it is our physique or whether it is our mind, even our emotional health. And unfortunately, it's like what I usually tell my patients is, it's like the blind man and the elephant story. Every person is seeing from there, they're trying to understand it. So this diabetes is like that elephant, and there are the blind men who are surrounding, and they're trying to touch each part and understand diabetes from their perspective. It's not like that. It's a complete, you have to look at the complete picture, which is a complete elephant you have to understand. And this is actually the elephant which we're talking about today. So when we talk about diabetes, it's important to understand that diabetes also comes along with a lot of complications, which I just explained to you, right? The macro and the micro complications. So when this happens, how do you take actions at the right time so that you don't land up into those complications at the further stage? That I'm really be focusing upon today. Like I said, in Ayurveda, we talk about Vimshati Prameha. Vimshati is a Sanskrit term. Vimshati means 20 and Prameha means not exactly diabetes, but a condition which is much, much more than diabetes. Obviously, for understanding reasons, it is compared that diabetes is equal to Prameha. So when we talk about these 20 types, sometimes we label a person as a Prameha patient, and we give the medicines according to let's say diabetes, and the person can actually not land into complications further. So this is the whole story. And quality of life, which we hardly hear from people nowadays. So quality of life means what? Everything, like in Ayurveda, just let me put forth the definition of health which Ayurveda gives to us is samadoshaha samadhatu samadnishcha prasanna atmendriya manah swastha ityabhi bhiyate. What does it actually means is where your body is in a balanced state. All the infrastructure in your body physically is in a balanced state. And not just that, but your man, that is your mind, your atma, that is your spiritual health is also equally important, and your indriya, that is, the senses. When all of them are working fine and then all of them are in balance, that's when your term has to be healthy. Going to the gym, building up the body, and you have recently heard about so many celebrities dying at the age of 40. I need not reiterate, but I'm sure if you have heard the news, at the age of 40, they passed away due to heart attack. Now you don't know that somewhere the complications were building up in the body, but people are not even aware. So how disconnected we are from our bodies. It's very unfortunate event that we are not listening, because your body will start giving you signals. I'm going to talk about the signals. What are these signals? Just every morning when you get up, just few things you take into notice. One, how is your appetite? Do you feel hungry when you get up? Like, within half an hour, let's say, do you really feel hungry? How many of you can really have a good bowel? A clear bowel means clear motions. Okay, these are the checkpoints. If you get up in the morning and just check whether you feel fresh and energetic after you get up, and whether you feel like working with the same enthusiasm the whole day. These are the questions you should ask every day. Whether you're feeling happy or you're just feeling dull and gloomy and you're just, dragging your day along. So if this is your state of mind or your body, then definitely you are not healthy. Even though you show me that, doctor, all my reports are fine, I don't agree, because this is not the definition of health. Today, unfortunately, we don't have a lab test for finding out whether your emotional health is there or not, or your spiritual health is not there or not, it exists or not. But if this is not taken into consideration, people start landing up into problems. And let me tell you why this is important. Because if you talk about diabetes, then even only stress, for that matter, is going to show you a difference in your blood sugar reports. Even if you're eating well, even if you're taking your medicines on time, you will still have spiked up levels in your sugar. Your sugar levels will be spiked up. You must have heard from people, right? अरे पता नहीं, I'm doing everything. Food तो मैं ठीक से खा रहा हूँ. I'm eating on time. I'm doing everything on time. I'm exercising well, but my sugar levels are never under control. So think whether it is also stress, okay, or whether you're not sleeping properly. Do you know that sleeping properly is also so much important to put your sugar levels under control? If you're not sleeping well, then also your sugar levels can show a difference, and so that is very important to understand, that if you're not sleeping well as in what? Resting. Just not going to bed and then tossing left and right and thinking about a lot of things, that's not a good quality sleep. So when you have deep, nice sleep, that is when you really relax. So I had a patient whose sugar levels had just shot up. Everything was fine, and we just found out the only reason was because that person was not sleeping well. So the moment we just gave medicines, just to improve the sleep quality, the sugar levels came down. Now tell me, what is the relation between this? I had not even given medicine which will bring the sugar levels down. The relation was because sleep was affecting the sugar levels. And if you do deep research into this, you will find out the answers. Today, worldwide, a lot of research is going on this topic, because diabetes is a looming danger. So all these parameters are very, very, very important to understand this disease. Okay. Now let's go to the next slide, where preventing diabetes earlier the better. Now you can see I put a picture here of a healthy mind and healthy body initiative. That's what we do here at our clinic, which we call, we have started a community which is called Ayurveda Consciousness Living. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because, just to make people understand that we are much beyond our body. Okay, we are not just restricted to our body, but our mind is much more bigger space. And if we don't work on this, all these chronic diseases, you cannot really deal with them in a better way. So preventing diabetes, earlier the better. Why? Because improving the insulin and conversion of glucose to energy mechanism, this actually can be taken control of if you work in a better way. If you actually start understanding the disease and work accordingly, it also helps us to improve the lipid metabolism, because I said that many diabetic patients, they have high cholesterol levels. So if you look after this, then you will understand that improving the lipid metabolism is very, very important, so as to prevent heart diseases also, or strokes also in future. Of course, exercise is something which is needed to be taken care of. I'm sorry. So this has to be taken care of, and diet. We are going to talk about all this in details. You must have heard a lot about this, but I'm going to just pinpoint few things so that you understand it better. Time to time doing the diabetic panel testing, especially like being more focused on, if you don't actually, you're not aware of your body, then at least something which can help you is doing the lab tests on a regular basis. Because if you do your blood test, at least there are chances of getting, finding out diabetes at an early stage. So that is very, very important. Then taking precautions early to prevent macro and microvascular damage to the blood vessels. So this is what should be actually done to take care of this elephant. Okay, to take care of this elephant, so that we don't ruin up or we don't land up into complications in future. Now, how do you exactly do this? Now, by far, I suppose that you have understood all the theory that what exactly diabetes doing, what is understanding diabetes means. Now what do we actually do? What are our action steps? Because without that, without our action or without a diabetic blueprint, you will not be able to understand what you really need to do. Okay. So so how do we prevent further complications in pre-diabetes and diabetes? Now, so let me talk of two conditions where a person is approaching us or even really wants to, not cross the threshold of a diabetic person. Usually you see that when you do the blood test, there are these three categories where they tell you that you're pre-diabetic or you're diabetic or your diabetes is not under control. It's way far higher. So you come to know from the tests also. So when you're in the pre-diabetes, okay, let's say where your HbA1c, that is the average glucose, so blood sugar levels for 3 months is below, it should be below 5.5 or below 6, okay? If it is below that, or even if it is close to 6, you are called as a pre-diabetic, okay? So from lab to lab, this definition differs. What I mean to say here is, let's say where your blood sugar level is crossing 100, the fasting blood sugar levels, okay? You are actually on the threshold of being a diabetic. So in that case, what should you exactly do so that you do not cross that threshold and not become a diabetic? And the second is when you already have diabetes, full-blown diabetes, and you do not want to land into complications. So these are the two scenarios, okay? So what does Ayurveda say when you have these two different scenarios? One is we talk about panchakarma treatments, okay? Where pancha means 5, karmas means procedures, okay? So in that case, there are 5 different detox procedures. Now, why they are important, let me tell you, and the results they yield. Because when your body is undergoing the detox procedures, now this is not meant for every person, okay? But it is definitely meant for a person who wants to stay healthy. And there are certain contraindications when you cannot do panchakarma to a patient in diabetic conditions, okay, where there is very high sugar levels. For that time period, we will avoid all the treatment modalities like panchakarma. But we can definitely and safely give internal medicines. But when we talk about panchakarma, that is these 5 karmas, we are talking about cleansing treatments. Now imagine when your body is like literally going through a lot of wear and tear every single day. Have you ever paused and just thought that how much toxins over a period of time we collect from our environment, from our food, from our lifestyle? We are completely unaware of this. So there are a lot of toxins which are collected in our body every single day. Even if you say that I had never any issue of constipation, every day I go to the washroom, my emotions are clear, everything is fine, but still, if you see from inside, we have done treatments that we actually see even in a person who has normal bowels every single day will have a thick layer, a tar-like level. Everybody must have seen coal tar, the tar which we make roads with. You see a similar deposits on your intestine layers, slimy, sticky deposits. So you can imagine how, if you don't get rid of this deposit, it nicely gets absorbed, it seeps in our blood. It can penetrate into our blood and it has the full capability to produce a disease. Okay, it may not happen in a day, it may not happen in a month, but definitely it will happen in a year or a few years' time. Okay, so there are ways, don't worry, because there are ways how you can clear off that toxins from your body. There are definitely ways, and one of them is panchakarma. So detoxification treatments, or I would say the word detox is a very minor word for a big thing. But let us make it easy to understand. So these treatments, they really help in cleansing out your body. So if you are, if you have a strong family history of diabetes in your maternal and paternal side, and you do not want the legacy of diabetes for you, or if you're planning, if even in couples who are planning a child, we tell them that you get this detox therapies done because you don't want to knowingly or unknowingly pass these things to your future generations, right? So Ayurveda does help at that level also. So one of them is this panchakarma, and it is, let me clarify that these treatments are not to be done all together. Basically, they are just meant to be done one by one, okay, or as per the need arises. Second is treatment as per the constitution. Okay, like there are two things which we see. One is treatments where your body is to be nourished, and in the other treatments where your body needs to be put, like for obesity, where your body needs to be taken care of, reduction of weight, reduction of cholesterol, all these treatments. Okay, then I would say, or I would put forth a simple combination of medicine which is called Nisha Amalaki. This is something which you can easily advise to a diabetic patient or to a pre-diabetic patient. What does it mean? Nisha means turmeric, haldi, and Amalaki means amla powder. So we advise that a combination of turmeric and amla powder. Okay, if you tell people to just have this 1 spoon every single day, morning and evening, how it is to be taken, just mix amla powder and turmeric powder in equal quantities. Let's say if you are mixing 100 grams amla powder and 100 grams of turmeric powder. Except in people who have a lot of acidity issues, I would say that the amount of turmeric should be less. So then it could be 50% of turmeric powder and 100% of amla powder, 1:2 ratio. So this is the best combination to prevent a lot of complications, to also avoid getting from pre-diabetes to diabetic mode. So Nisha Maliki, as I said, again I will repeat. So Nisha means haldi powder and Amalaki means amla powder. You get it easily in the market, you can buy it or you can make it at home. You can easily do it by drying off and making the powder and just mix it into a airtight container. Keep a small spoon, teaspoon. First thing you can have it in the morning after half an hour after breakfast and then half an hour after dinner. This is one of the most important and most beautiful treatment to help your body recover from the damage, especially done to the blood vessels. Okay, so this I will definitely recommend. Yeah.
Hi,
Sorry.
Payal, can you actually repeat the quantities?
Yes. So haldi is 50%. Let's say if you're an acidic person who has a lot of acidity issues, then please remember this, that you take 1 part of haldi powder and double part of, 2 parts of amla powder. But if you do not have any major acidity issues, then don't worry. You can mix it in equal quantities. That is 1 part of turmeric and 1 part of amla powder. So 1 part means 100. If you're taking 100 grams of amla powder, you take 100 grams of turmeric powder, haldi powder, and you just mix and keep it in an airtight container. When should you take it? The best time to have it is actually ideally on empty stomach. But if you can't have it, then take it half an hour after breakfast and then at bedtime again with water. Just the quantity should be very little. 1 teaspoon is the quantity which you should be taking. Is it clear?
Yeah, it is clear. So just take the powder directly, not mix it with water or anything like that.
No need to mix it with water. You can just put the powder into your mouth. Just put it gently and drink water. That's it. You can easily carry it. How long you can take it? You can take it for a span of 2 months. Then you can stop, give a break for 15 days, and again start for 2 months. If it is a pre-diabetic condition, that itself is enough. But if you want to repeat also, you can just give a gap of even 8 to 10 days gap is enough. Why? Because your body otherwise starts treating it as food. It doesn't then can actually yield the same benefits. So always giving a break is important in between. And these two are extremely good anti-inflammatory. They're loaded with antioxidants. So the first and foremost thing which they will do in your body is will prevent the damage that diabetes is doing to your blood vessels. So this is very, very important and very, very useful. If you start doing that, then this is what will happen. Okay, in the long term, you won't see major side effects of the sugar levels. And if the sugar levels are fluctuating, it is even more important to have something like this, okay? Consume something like this on a regular basis. The other two, I would say, are into medicine category. So please do not have it on your own. I've just mentioned the names to bring to your notice that there are certain rasayanas. We use rasayan. Rasayan word doesn't, in Ayurveda, it means regenerative. Okay, one which regenerates the cells. So when we use rasayan, actually it takes care of, again, protecting the blood vessels from damage, and making sure that all your major organs in the body are able to get a lot of oxygen and blood supply properly, even if you are a full-blown diabetic. So this is the role of diabetes. This is the role of main rasayan. Okay. Then certainly yogasanas, and I've mentioned the list. Probably you can take a screenshot for better understanding. And so yogasanas like Mandukasana, and this you have to do it regularly. If you do it regularly, a lot of changes are seen in the fluctuating sugar levels and even in maintaining sugar levels at lower dosages. So yoga plays a very, very vital role in controlling and managing diabetes nicely, and also in preventing complications. So I mentioned the list: Mandukasana, Dhanurasana, Balasana, Bhujangasana, Shavasana, Viparit Karni. You can always Google this, or better to, I would definitely tell that if you're planning to do yoga, then please do it under a yoga expert. At least learn the correct postures, because sometimes doing wrong postures are not good. It's not a good idea. It can harm your body. So do the correct postures. Shavasana, Tadasana, Chakrasana, Vakrasana, Vajrasana, Ushtrasana. So these are some of the important asanas. There are many more: Sarvangasana, Pranayam, Anulom Vilom. This can help. So definitely a half an hour yoga session every single day, even if you are a diabetic or a non-diabetic, will help you. Mandukasana, you know what it does, for example, let me tell you, because the action of the yogasana is where you just make a fist and you press it against your mid-abdomen and you press and you go down. So what you're doing is actually activating the pancreas. So this is the benefit of the asana. Why yoga? Because yoga will, it's not even yoga, it's yoga. So yoga, actually what it does is, it actually helps in stimulating that particular system. And that's why you should do this rather than doing cardio exercises and exercises in the gym. More, what is going to yield more benefits is organ-wise exercise, and organ-wise exercise, there is no other better choice than doing yogasanas. So I hope this is clear. Of course, do it with an expert's advice. Just give me a second. The next is meditation. I am today for this session, I'm just going to conduct a 10-minute session at the end for those who want to stay up till the end, and it will take another 10 minutes now. So we'll do a short session where I will tell you, actually doing it will make you understand that why it is so important. So we do a lot for our physical body, we do nothing for our mental body. Unless you control the elephant here, it's not 100% effective. So doing something for your mind, calmness of the mind is very, very important, and especially in a chronic situation like diabetes. Okay, then a lot of importance is there for exercise and diet management. So diet itself is a big topic. I won't be able to cover it entirely in today's session, but I'm going to give you a little I would say bird eye view of it, and we'll be able to still get benefits from the same. Then Ayurveda, I put a point here because when we look at a patient, we look at various aspects. How is the appetite of the patient, the constitution, whether they are able to pass motions or not, whether the sleep is good, whether the manas bal, the strength of the mind, how you are as a person. Because if you are an anxious type, believe me, your sugar levels are also going to be the anxious type only. They will start showing a lot of fluctuations. Then also condition wise it differs, not every diabetic person, every two patients are not same, right? So if there are two obese patients, overweight patients also, then both of them are suffering from diabetes, they will still have completely different mode of treatments as per Ayurveda, because they are not same. You don't eat the same food, you don't wear the same type of clothes, your food choices, everything is so different. Then how can your medicine be the same? It's not going to help you in the long run. So if you're a condition like obese patient, or if there is heart disease, liver, kidney disease, then everything is, all these points are taken into consideration for treating the patients, and that's why it is called personalized treatment module. That's what Ayurveda talks about. It's completely personalized system. So from constitution to constitution also, the disease will show different effects in your body. Okay. I've given a method. So how do you control your sugar levels in a very easy way by using these techniques here, or using this food. So you can see in the chart there is, I mentioned something barley. Barley is jaw ka atta. North May it is known as jaw ka atta, and you get it. You can see the picture on the right side. So this is jaw. And it can be eaten fresh. It's really tasty. You can make chapatis out of it. You can make parathas out of it, and it's really tasty also. And it's one of the main food a diabetic should have definitely to keep sugar under control. Habitual consumption of barley, yellow moong dal, amla powder, it really prevents application of diabetes or skin diseases also. So if anybody is suffering from all these diseases, you can still advise them. Dysuria means where urine function is not fine. And you can always tell these people, मतलब what do you क्या खा सकते हैं? तो जौ की रोटी, मूंग दाल. This is the best food for an diabetic patient. And if you can prepare a pickle out of haldi and amla, haldi or amle ka achar jisko bolte hain, don't add too much of salt into it. It just needs little bit salt, raw salt, and it needs little bit oil. You can prepare this achar and you can consume it on a daily basis also. So this is also another way of consuming amla and haldi. And old rice. So Shashtik Shali is the term which you have used. Basically, it's the, if you know, down south in Kerala, something called as Navara rice is very famous. So Navara rice is the rice which grows in 60 days duration. And that is the rice which a diabetic patient can have easily. So we don't put restrictions on rice. So you can have your rice. If you are unable to get that, you can always go for aged rice. That is 2-year-old. Today the problem is that as soon as the grain is harvested, we immediately consume it. And that's not a healthy way, you should not be doing that. Your food should always be stored. Food means, I'm not talking about cooked food, I'm talking about grains like rice or wheat. It should be, the older the better. Okay, so it's very, very important to consume food which is a little aged. If you see traditionally in the household, there used to be big cans where rice or wheat used to be stored. There was a reason, because it becomes easy to digest, and the food which is easy to digest can convert into energy easily. That's the reason why we should be consuming food in this form. Okay. Then, if you see old wheat, vegetables like bitter gourd, which are bitter or astringent in taste, okay, like bitter gourd, rich gourd, and if they are cooked in mustard oil. Again, coming to oil, mustard oil doesn't suit everybody, so oil you can choose wisely, and better is to steam the food first and then cook it in oil, so less oil is needed for consumption. But if you want to choose oils, especially in the diabetic, then mustard oil is a good choice. Otherwise, you can go with whichever local oils you are using. Please do not try to cook fancy food in olive oil. I've seen this trend. Olive oil is not meant for Indian cooking. It cannot take the temperature to make tadka. Okay, olive oil is good for dressing. So I'm not saying olive oil is not good. I'm saying that please do not use it as a medium of cooking food. Okay, then here I've used a word, it's a Sanskrit term, jangal mas. So jangal mas means meat for non-vegetarians. The best food which they can have in diabetes also is something like chicken, okay, which is, so fish they should avoid because it is in water all the time. So there is a concept in Ayurveda which we say that when whatever stays in water for a longer time, creates a lot of obstructions in the body channels. So we prefer for a person who is diabetic, if they are into non-veg, then chicken is a better option for them, or egg is okay for them, but don't have too much of fish and definitely no red meat. Okay. Then I've shown a picture. Now there is something called in the northern parts of India, lahi is a very famous thing. You can see here, this is jawar lahi. This is basically popcorn which is made out of jawar. And to, I don't have the variety here, but we do have this in our, for patients also, where we tell them to eat this, So what people usually ask is, I feel a lot of hunger, then what I should be eating. Then if you start eating this, you can have a handful of it. It is very, very nourishing to the body, and it will not let you, you don't put up calories. The sugar levels are very well managed if you eat jawar. So usually in dinner time, we tell a diabetic patient to have a lot of lahi, So if you ask me what about the nourishment, it does have a lot of nutrients in it. It's a nutrients good food, nutrient-rich food, and it is a millet. So this is the jawar is a millet. So the popcorns these are basically jawar puffs, which you get in the market, and you can consume a handful of it. It will kill away your hunger, it will give you nourishment, it will give you energy, and it will not let your sugar levels also rise. So in one meal, you can always have a handful of this. Then mantha. Mantha is something which you prepare. It's a soup-like thing, okay, which you can prepare from barley, milk, and water. If you mix this and you prepare a soup-like thing, this is also extremely good. The mid hunger pangs which you get, or you can have it as your main meal. So this is a very good recipe. You can take a screenshot of this. And if you get access to chandan powder, especially in people diabetic who have diabetic neuropathy, means they complain a lot of burning sensation in their feet. You must have heard about people talking about this, so a lot of burning down there. So you can have chandan powder along with milk, along with sugar and honey. And honey, it's okay for a diabetic to consume honey in small quantities. There is no problem. It will not cause it will not cause sugar levels to rise up. Okay, so don't worry. Little bit honey is still fine, and you can use it in bleeding disorders where there's a lot of bleeding happening through the nose, or in females during the menstruation, or for diabetics also. This is a very good combination if you get access to chandan powder. Otherwise, you can skip this. You can just concentrate on the other food which you can take. Then moving towards the last, like I promised a recipe. Thali is a it's very common recipe in Maharashtra, and this is an amazing recipe. So I chose this for today's session. So you can actually prepare this, and as you can see the photograph of the thali, this is one of the very nourishing, very tasty food, and it is full of nutrients, and it is extremely good for diabetic patient. Okay. So you can click a screenshot. See, in the summer season, do not use too much of bajra, that is black millet. But if it is cold season, in the place where you stay, because we do have some people who have joined overseas, so if it is very cold, they can definitely use bajra flour. And in India, during the summer season, you can avoid bajra. Or if you want to use it, then use it in lesser quantities. Rest all you can use as per the recipe. That is 3 tablespoons jawar flour, 3 tablespoons wheat flour, besan you can see. And in this you can add a lot of veggies to make it more tasty, like shredded cabbage, onions, chili, cumin, coriander, cumin seeds, and then chopped coriander, and salt to taste. And I have mentioned the nutritive value per thali. So this will give you 2 portions of thali. That means around 6 thali you can make out of this whole quantity. And you can see the nutritive value. If you take a screenshot, it provides a lot of nutrients. Okay, so this is one of the best choices for a diabetic patient to have as a for lunch or dinner, and very easy to digest. And the top 10 natural superfoods, so you can take a screenshot. Bitter gourd, everybody knows, but you don't have to drink juices every morning. Don't just drink Karela juices, that's not required. Amla is the best ever superfood. So Amla season in India, it starts from November or December, and it stays up to January, February mostly. So if you have access to fresh Amla, that is the Indian gooseberry, the big ones, please do consume that. It's extremely good. If you can't have fresh, then at least convert it into some form where you can consume amla here alone. Okay. Then turmeric, like I mentioned, fenugreek, that is methi. Onions, garlic, jamun, Bengal gram is good. That is your besan, chana dal and besan. Cinnamon is very, very good. So in your tea, you can use cinnamon. And betel leaves. From betel leaves, the humble pan which we talk about, you know why the tradition of eating pan was built up? Let me give you a history. Because pan without the gulkan and the masala, I'm not talking about those fancy pans in the pan shop. I'm just talking about this humble betel leaf. Okay, you must see here in Bangalore where I stay, a lot of people, they grow it in their gardens, and it is used for puja. Why is it given so much of importance? Because betel leaves are best anti-diabetics. They have very good anti-glycemic action. So if you eat it after meals, it actually helps you in curbing down or bringing down your sugar levels. So isn't it beautiful? That is why traditionally the pan eating habit was introduced. Why you should eat pan after meals. Now forget it. People add a lot of stuff like gulkan and all those things, which I don't think is good if you are a diabetic. But if you still want to eat the humble pan, you can just chew the leaf. You can apply little tuna than regular tuna, because that's also loaded with calcium, and you can just eat that simple pan. Okay, you can add cinnamon powder on it if you want, and just chew the pan. So that will give you very good relief from increasing or fluctuating sugar levels. So this is all about food. There is a lot to talk about, but since we have a time restriction, I'm not going to go into a lot of details. But I think this is still a lot to understand, that what type of food, which yogasanas, and what exactly you can do to not slip into the category or to prevent the damages which diabetes can actually do to your body. So if anybody has questions at this point, please let me know.
I have a question, but if anybody wants to go first, they can go.
No issues, I think you can ask.
So diabetes, keeping it in control versus reversing. So if let's say we do this diet and yoga and all that, is it something like you're going to reverse and we can, I mean, I'm from South India, predominantly eating rice my entire life. So I'm pre-diabetic. And yes, I have, I mean, keeping in control is one thing, right? So some sort of diet I'm actually following, and then also doing some exercises. It's keeping it in control. But I've never like felt like, okay, I can go back to where I was 10 years ago, where I was eating whatever I want. But whatever you're suggesting, will it reverse it back where I can keep it at less than 5 HbA1c? And then can I actually start being where I was? I mean, I'm just curious to know if that sort of a thing is possible, because I don't think it's there in general medicine. So if you could shed some light on that, that will be great.
Sure. May I know your name so that I can address, because I cannot see it on the screen.
I'm Srini. Sorry, I put my email address there. I'm in US right now.
Yes. Yeah, Srini. So I would like to tell you something. See, predominantly, even if you're on a rice or dominant food, that is something which you have been eating for generations. You know, I am saying generations is because your parents, your grandparents, everybody had that as a diet. So your genetic pattern is tuned. You know, something in Ayurveda we call as satmya. So something which you have been eating for such a long time is not really harmful to your body. Okay, we don't tell you to stop it. Now, why this problem has started then? So if you say that reversal of diabetes, yes, it is possible in the early stages, definitely yes. In fact, in some people, we have seen it at a later stage also. But you have to consider all the aspects. Like right now, if you're saying your HbA1c is below 6, then it is still good under control. And if you do it through your diet and your exercise, you can definitely reverse it, and you can, avoid going or crossing the threshold of diabetes. So like I said, if you focus on all these aspects, one is the cleansing, see also about your lifestyle, lifestyle plays a very, very important role in, pushing you further towards a chronic lifestyle disease or taking you back. So first you start your day, you should always start with a good yoga schedule. I'm going to, one of the participants has asked, so I'm going to put the list again, show the list again. So basically, when you do these asanas, they have been researched, they have been actually tested, and if you do those poses correctly, that is the first step where you can help yourself to actually boost up your metabolism. Second, I gave you the Nisha Amalaki Yoga, which definitely has a very good impact on, pushing diabetes way further away from you. But at the same time, you have to give a very, give proper importance to the mental and the physical state both. Sometimes, like I said, if you're eating well, you're eating at the right time, you're eating well proportions, you're very thoughtful, very aware of your food, but at times it's just the mental stress or the lack of sleep, or eating at irregular timings. These all have to be checked in. If you have a proper schedule for your day, if you plan your day according to what I've said, this definitely can help you in not impacting your body, or not being in the journey ahead and not crossing the threshold. So if you I hope I have answered your question. Can it be done? Yes, it can be done. Okay, and a lot of people have done it. So you have to inculcate these habits in your lifestyle for that. And what I mean by that is starting your day with a good yoga routine, doing meditation, and pranayama is equally important to calm down your mind also, because that has impact on the sugar levels in your body. Second, staying in tune with the food habits. And third is sleeping on time. Even if you take care of these basic things, you are definitely able to control your sugar levels, or the way your body actually can convert that food into energy. You can actually play an important role in between. So this is what you can do, and it is definitely possible. Yes. Any other question? Yeah, so I'll show the list of the asanas. Srini, were you okay? Did you understand?
Yes, I did. Thank you. I
Yeah.
was about to type the message, but thank you.
Sorry?
I was about to type the message in the chat.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Okay. Yeah, this is the list of the yogasanas. If I can, I will repeat it slowly. Mandukasana, that is the frog pose. Dhanurasana, that is the bow pose. Balasana, child pose. Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Shavasana, the dead corpse pose. Viparit Karni is legs up the wall. So please be very careful when you do these asanas. If you are having hypertension or any other issues, or if you have been suffering from any heart problems, please avoid certain asanas from this. You need to connect with a yoga expert also, because this is in general, which I have said. So again, make sure whether you will be able to do or not these asanas. Tadasana, then Chakrasana. Sorry, I don't know the exact English names for everything, but you can definitely see online. Vakrasan and Vajrasan is the folded knee position, and Ushtrasan is the camel pose. So these are all different postures. These are all different yogasanas, and if I have not mentioned pranayam, please also consider pranayam here. Anulom Vilom is something which is very, very important. You can do Kapalbhati as well, but again, Kapalbhati is not meant for everybody. Kapalbhati is to be done under an expert's guidance. Learn it properly, and if you do it, you actually can reap a lot of benefits, in digestion and in controlling sugar levels also. Coming to meditation session, if you want, we can go ahead with a short meditation session where I'm going to talk, just quickly get you into that mode where you can understand the healing process. Any other questions? I would love to hear something back from all of you, whether you understood what I'm saying.
Yeah, doctor. How long we have to do the each asana? Timing like 1 minute or six.
You can start from 1 minute and you can slowly increase to 3 minutes to 4 minutes. Okay. On day one, please do not end up doing it for 4 minutes. You need to give time, slowly develop the habit. So do the
Okay.
posture correctly, and you can do up to 3 minutes also per asana. So in a 30-minute schedule, you can do around 10 asanas then.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, you can put in the chat if anybody wants to. In the meantime, if you are ready, we can just do a 5 minutes, a short meditation session, because I really want to, bring to your notice how calming your mind is very, very important if you want to stay away from this chronic lifestyle diseases. Okay, so I'll just put the music on, and thank you, Rajeshri. So I'll just put the music on, and we'll just start. All of you, please sit straight. Close your eyes. Just for 5 minutes, sit very relaxed. Sit straight in a relaxed manner. Please breathe in gently. Breathe in. Breathe out. Repeat. Breathe in slowly. Breathe out. Breathe in. Relax. Breathe out. Breathe in. Relax. Breathe out. Now imagine an ocean of white light above your head. Imagine this white light slowly entering from the vertex of your head, slowly spreading to your forehead, to your eyes, to your mouth, slowly traveling down from your neck, relaxing each and every cell of your body. Each and every cell is filled with this divine white light. It is healing and repairing your body. Just imagine this white light traveling down to your entire chest, to your heart, to your lungs. You're feeling calm, you're feeling relaxed. Take a deep breath. Now imagine this white light traveling through both your hands to each finger. Then imagine this white light traveling down to the abdomen, to your waist, your hips, down to your genitals, traveling down through both your legs, to your toes and fingers. On its way, each and every cell of your body is rejuvenated, vibrating with energy, feeling calm, relaxed. Now, rub both your hands gently and just feel the energy between both your hands by pulling it apart slowly. Rub your hands, rub your palms against each other and just try to pull your hands apart from each other and feel a ball of energy between both your hands. Just try to expand the ball further and further. You can imagine a ball full of energy between your hands. Try to expand this ball of energy slowly and gradually. You can actually feel the energy in both the hands now. Bring this ball of energy to your mid-abdomen, that is near your liver, and keep this ball of energy expanding and imagining that it is healing your liver, your pancreas. Pass this healing energies to each and every cell of your body. Just relax and feel the energy in your body. Feel this energy expanding more and more. And healing every cell of your body wherever it is needed the most. Now you can bring your hands together again. Join the hands. And on the count of 5, you can gently open your eyes. Breathe slowly and gently. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now gently open your eyes and you can touch your eyes with your palms. And open your eyes with a broad smile on your face. I can't see your smiles, but I hope that you all are smiling. Have a good day. Yeah, and this was just one small effort to calm your mind down, make it a habit on a regular basis. Namo Namaha. So if you have any queries, you can connect to us. You can take a screenshot of the slide. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm logging from the session. Thank you so much.